Hi guys, my name's Devon. Let's just dive right in. So how many of you have ever washed your body? I'm going to say hopefully everyone. With that being said, everyone has probably heard or tried Bath and Body Works, whether it be from your mom, your brother, your sister, considering we have body care for all types. Bath and Body Works has over 1,000 stores in the US, so someone around you probably knows what Bath and Body Works is. Bath and Body Works generated net sales amounting to $5.2 billion in the US in 2019, which is up from the $4.63 billion generated in 2018. Today, my goal is to lather you in information about the style of organization that Bath & Body Works is and how it is ran, to hopefully rinse off any confusion you have on the organization and how it is ran. Like I said earlier, Bath & Body Works is a very well-known all over the United States. It's very dear and genuine to my heart because the home office is based in Blacklick, which is 15 minutes outside of my hometown. Bath & Body Works is owned by L Brands, who also owns White Barn, and they own Victoria's Secret and Pink, so they go hand in hand. But so these are a lot of informational stuff that is really cool to me. Anyways, we'll be talking about how the Bath & Body Works runs in both functional tradition and meaning-centered approach. Then we will talk about scientific method, human behaviors, and network roles in the store. Finally, we will be discussing leadership powers and organizational conflicts. So let's start off talking about our functional tradition and meaning-centered approach. When I'm looking at that, I see that in regard to functional tradition, we use relationship function frequently at my job. We have people who are offsite leads, we have people who are cash leads, we have people from all different sections that have different tasks and different roles. All of our tasks and roles are displayed for us in our handbooks, and if not in our handbooks, then we do a chat-in every day. And so when we do our chat-ins, we talk with our managers and our SLTs, and they discuss with us what we're doing for the day, how it should be done, and when it should be done. So for Bath & Body Works, I feel like that works very well just because when we're doing that, we know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how it needs to be done. The method of communication with this function is very understandable, and it works really well because you know what you're supposed to be doing at all times. But when in regard to the meaning-centered approach, I use metamorphosis socialization at work. I've been working there for a year now, so I know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and when it needs to be done. So I go in and I do my chat-ins, and they tell me what we're doing for today, what our sales are, other people's positions, things like that. They tell us, how much money we need to make for the day. And then I get placed wherever I'm going to be placed. So if I'm placed at cash wrap, I'm worrying about organizing our shelves and stuff like that and cashing people out, making sure everything's okay with that. Usually I'm placed in White Barn, so then I get I get put in there in White Barn, and I'm working on stocking our shelves, making them look pretty, and then I check the understock and make sure that they're filled, and if not, then I go to the back and grab some stuff and bring it out. For me, this works great because I know what I need to do. I don't have to worry about somebody telling me what I need to do, and it gets done on a timely manner. Next we'll have scientific methods, human behaviors, and network roles. So in regard to the scientific management or methods, I'm using Taylor's time and motion studies at work. We do floor set, which is when we come in after hours and we reset the floor, we put out new product, we change our tables up a little bit, we put out new marketing and posters. And for these events, we are given a time, we're giving a task, and then we're given an allotted amount of time to do our task. And at the end of the allotted amount of time, we're given a new task that should be done next. But this form of communication is not successful. I don't feel it's successful at all because when you're told you have an allotted amount of time, it makes you anxious. It makes you feel like you're not moving fast enough. So then you start to mess up because you're trying to move faster, and then you are given more work on top of that at the end of what that time is. So then you're rushing even more to get more. It's super frustrating and it doesn't make sense to me. But in regard to human behavior, we use the Hawthorne effect that happens quite frequently at work. So we have a key holder. I can't say her name, but we have a key holder, and she's like a manager, and she doesn't communicate her feelings very well, and so she gets snippy and she's rude, and so then when we go to, she like does things that aren't right. So then we go to our HR and we go to our managers and things like that are above her, and we and once they realize that she's doing these things, they reprimand her and she is being watched or whatever. She starts to go into like this fake mode and she does what thing needs to be done at that time and she starts to act right. But as soon as they stop watching her and she knows that they're done watching her, she goes right back to her old ways and she is immediately that same exact person. So for me, this is ineffective because in my opinion, until they are continuously being watched and checked in on a random basis, they will never change for good. And then finally for this section, we'll be talking about network roles. So at Bath & Body Works, we have our district manager. His name is Dada. He's not a store manager or a store employee. He works above all of us in a different office. And he works really well with us, delaying messages and things like that, making sure that we're paying attention and that we're doing things the correct way. He's not a part of our like group, so he doesn't really do anything with us. And sometimes he's a little insensitive or insociable, if that's a word, but he doesn't like, sometimes he doesn't understand what actually needs to be done. He's just very by the book. So, I mean, it's effective, but it has its down perks. Finally, we'll be analyzing Bath & Body Works communication through the concepts of leadership power bases and its approach to conflict. My manager, Brian, uses legitimate power at work all the time. Brian is the store manager. So, like I said earlier, we do floor sets. And in these floor sets, we have the things that need to be done, our tasks that we are assigned. And Brian tries to use his legitimate power in this case, but for us, it just doesn't, it works, but it doesn't work because we do what we want to do, how we're going to do it, and when we want to do it. Like, we take our time. So, like, yes, he tells us to do it, so we're eventually going to get it done, but we might not do it in that moment that he wants it done or how the exact way that he wants it done. And then at Bath & Body Works, we run into a lot of conflict. So all retail stores all over witness conflict all the time. Whether it be objects accidentally put in the wrong place or mismarked or coupons. Coupons are a huge conflict at Bath & Body Works. We used to have a 3-day grace period for our coupons, so like you could use them 3 days after they had expired and we'd still accept them. But a couple months ago we stopped doing that and now our deadline is our deadline. And we have a lot of angry customers who this is infuriating to. And our generation, we call them Karens. They come in and they're upset about little minute things and they make big deals out of it. But when I have an issue, I use the competition form. And I'm a very stubborn, hard-headed person. So like if I want things to go a certain way or if things are a certain way, there's no getting around it. And so I want to get my point across to those Karens of the world that they are not going to get their way and their coupons are expired at that point. Like your coupons are expired. And so for me, this is successful usually because my managers are always going to back me up because that is our rules. It says it on our coupons. It says like, it is our rules. So that's just how it goes. So like they ask to speak to our manager and I go and grab my manager and they back me up and they settle on the same thing. So in the end, Karen isn't going to get her way. Like, her coupons are now expired. And so that's how we deal with our conflicts at work. Many other places use other different sources of methods. But overall, so we've discussed a lot of topics about Bath & Body Works and how they work and how it's run in both functional tradition and meaning-centered approaches. Then we talked about the scientific methods and human behaviors and network roles in the store. And finally, we discussed the leadership powers and organizational conflicts at Bath & Body Works. Now that we have finished lathering up in the information that I've laid out for us and washed out all of our confusion, it's time for me to end my video, and I hope to see you visit a Bath & Body Works near you.